Awesome. Welcome back to another Warships Wednesdays. This is Chrischievious in the Khabarovsk. We got a nice 8 to 10 battle, but being a 10, that doesn't matter so much. What we're going to go over is we're just going to touch on how the Khabarovsk works, what it's all about, why I like it. It's by far one of my favorite ships in here. It is made as not a normal destroyer, it's more of a light cruiser. That means that any destroyer that I come up against early on is going to spot me way before I spot him, and it's just something you have to make peace with. And that's why you see me heading off on this map as a long swing out to try and spot large ships, because I'm going on the fact that I believe most of the destroyers are going to go into the cap points to try and spot in there, which is why what's happening there. But I've spotted my first ship. I'm just trying to get a little bit closer into range. I don't quite want to be immediately next to it, because the fact is that this ship functions on a long range. It's good to have your commander skills built so that you have a rapid fire and a longer distance with these 130 kilometer main battery guns, and that's what we're going to try and use to our advantage. You hold it at a long range, you set them on fire, and you just keep pestering them, and frankly you move so fast that they can't reciprocate. But right now I need to get these things spotted. I just derped with my AP over on him, but that's okay. So I switch over and everything is there. But my main focus is going to be our destroyer that popped up right here. He's going to be the one that I need to do the most damage to. He's the one I'm going to focus on outright. And because this is more of a light cruiser, it'll be able to do plenty of work with this destroyer that we have going on here. But I have more than just him to worry about. We have 4 targets that are sitting over on this east side. So the best thing to do to approach is, because my fire chance is so consistent with my 3-second reload, is I want to make sure that I am setting fires and then going about my business and just trying to do what I can. But I have this Des Moines here that's really going to be causing some issues, because he's a strong cruiser, and if he can get some good shots on me, then I'm going to have a lot of problems. So all I can do is try to mitigate and scare off the two of them and do some zigzag movement here and there. But he's starting to get a bead on me, and so I need to turn and pull away from him so I can get back out to that range so I can avoid him, and then I can worry about the long term of mine. But my engines are out, and he's not taking a lot of damage, so I guess the best thing that we can do is just try to set more fires to him. Let's do some of that. Finally. Okay, so now we have to go back, and I'm fortunate to have my fleet with me because they'll be able to take a lot of the attention, and I can just set my fires, do as I please. I come off as a not very threatening target because I'm so tiny and my guns are so tiny, but because of my reload and my fires that I set, I wind up being an incredibly good use for support fire. So the best thing I can do is I can just set some fires over here, and if I catch one fire, then I'll start shooting at the other one, and vice versa. But first I'm going to head towards this mountain, try and get some cover, because he's starting to near my 6-kilometer range for my torpedoes. Hopefully I'll be able to get off a couple to him, but I got to make sure that I can bank around and avoid these torpedoes. Ooh. Get a little bit closer. But unfortunately, because of the 6-kilometer reload, 6-kilometer range that I have on these torpedoes, then what I need to do is I need to also make sure that I have an escape route. So it's just going to be a quick drop, a quick turn away, and I'll go about my business. I've got that ship that's sinking in the way there. I'm going to send him out here in case he continues on that path. And then I'm going to send some out to this other ship that I'm hoping will turn into him just a touch. Oh, but I gotta destroy it back. So let's finish him off for just a minute because he's going to be my biggest threat. Yeah. Fire. And once I take care of him, then it's just a matter of staying at that long range and picking up these battleships and just having them burn to the ground. So for this ship, as you can see, I can keep some angling like a cruiser would, and I don't take a lot of shots. But I also have a repair function if it winds up actually causing an issue. That's fun. And so now I think is he flooding? I don't know. We've got some damage that's going to him. Gonna finish him off, and then I'll be able to go and help out the rest. But unfortunately, the rest of the battle is going to be happening over on the south side of the map. So I got to turn around and convince everybody, hey, let's go over here. How's that sound? Never mind. So we have a couple destroyers that are sitting over here. One that's sitting in the smoke, and then one that I know is trying to pick off. It's another Russian destroyer, so he's trying to do the same thing I'm doing. He's trying to hold a range and set some fires, so let's get rid of him first, because I don't need that kind of competition in my life. He's smoking, he's gonna hide. I'm hoping I can just catch him and set him on fire and do what I can. Good. So hopefully he'll burn to the ground. We don't have to worry about him. And then I go back to my setting fires. But you see how I'm maintaining this range? I can't get in too close to anybody. And if I can use this cover to pop in and out to make sure that I'm not detected often, or when I pop in and out of detection, then they just lose track of me or lose interest and go on to the next firefight, then that's what gives me the advantage to go set another fire and keep moving on. So I'll lob a couple over the mountain, but I still want to take care of that Kiev, so I'm going to go ahead and charge around this corner, try and track him down, and maybe I can pick him out. But I do know that I've got a cruiser, I've got some other ships that are sitting over on this side, and I want to try and keep an eye out for them. I do have another couple heals left, so I know I can handle at least one good brawl in here if I do find this destroyer. And I know that the other one is a Japanese Shimakaze, I believe, and the Shimakaze will have some torpedoes in the water that I need to just be aware of. So I'm going to drop some in his area, where he is, and hopefully...
Gotcha, bitch!
Now, you're mine. Now there's only one destroyer left. It's the Shimakaze that's over there. I'm going to try and pick at him, but his detection is so low that I'm going to lose sight of him real quick. But I got these other two battleships that are sitting near the point. I'm going to go ahead and start heading towards them. And then that way I can hopefully get the flank on them, help out the rest of my team that way. But, because, oh, see me switching to AP there? The AP is important if you do have a broadside, because this caliber is larger than most destroyers. Just don't bank on it. It's just a longer term thing. But, ooh, wait, available point. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. That's stupid. If I get a chance through these mountains, I'm gonna launch off a couple more shots, catch fire. But ultimately, I just need to try and get what points I can. I'm helping. It's okay. Don't judge me. So now, like any good destroyer, you have to go and play your objectives. I'm going to go and try and pick up that one, because he's heading towards capturing one of our objectives, and then we have the other battleship that's sitting in here defending ours. I want to try and, ultimately, I'm going to try and torp this other battleship that's in here, but he's just barely outside of my range, so that's why I don't worry about it. And instead, he's got his secondaries coming off on me, and I'm going to go back out for cover to dodge in and out. Maybe, just maybe, he won't hit me with a bunch of stuff. He's going to be on the run. He's going to charge down the middle in between that channel there, and frankly, we're outnumbered. Oh, and I've got radar now, so since there's no use hiding behind that cover anymore, then I might as well charge out and make some use of being detected already. So I'm going to head over this way, take off a couple more shots at him. You know, if I don't keep shooting the mountain, I guess. And hopefully I can just get a fire. There you go. Before he takes off, and I can just get some incremental damage as he heads out. But I do know that there is a cruiser still out there, and he's going to be my biggest problem, and he's shooting at me with the Yamamoto, as you can see in those trails from the rounds there. And because he's going to be the biggest problem, I don't really know how to handle him from here because I don't know where he is, and he's coming for me because he knows that I am the largest threat. So I'm going to have to head out. I'm just going to try and capture this point. It's best to capture a point as a destroyer, and then, unless you know you're safe, don't fire. See that? See how I like gave away my position? I shouldn't have done that. I should have just made sure to capture the point, and once it's captured, then you can start firing off your rounds. But one thing about the Khabarovsk is he can take some punishment, and you're going to be detected all the time anyway. But the cruiser clearly found me. So I'm going to go and charge towards this mountain, get some cover from him, and try and set off just one more fire on this other battleship to finish him off, like that. And then hopefully he'll just burn to the ground, and we'll just handle this one at a time. But really, I'm going to have an issue. Can I get him? Can I get him? Can I get him? Oh yeah, he's going to burn to the ground. That's no problem. You see this cruiser over here? I know it. He knows it. It's time to do something.
Oh, baby, a triple!
That's right. So how are we going to handle this, cruiser?
お前はもう死んでいる。何？おは匠でギゼブ。
I don't care who you are, that's funny right there. So I lucked out, I got a couple of citadels on him because he was broadside and charging after me, and I have a larger caliber, and I'm just so great, but I still have this battleship to deal with.
What's the recommended amount of dedicated RAM I should have to a server?
Yeah, and now I'm by myself, because that's how this goes. But I'll get this last point. Hopefully we can win by points, and that's all I can really go for. Look at me helping. I know I can win in a brawl in between both of these, but if I find them at the same time, I'm going to have a problem. So I want to try and pick them off while they're separated. So I'm just going to try and burn this battleship to the ground, take him out first, and then I can brawl with that destroyer all day because he's just a measly little Japanese destroyer. So I'm gonna hammer him here, try to set him on fire, but you see how he's broadside. I switched over to my AP and ultimately decided I'm gonna do better if I set some fires on him, so I switch right back. But this is an opportunity where if he's shooting at somebody else, then you can get away with just hammering with some AP and getting better damage overall. But I'm also a threat, so yeah, I can handle this, right? One little hit, no big deal. I was wrong. I was wrong. So, gotta heal, gotta try and handle what I can here, and please, one more fire. Just give me one more fire. Oh, there he is. Okay, but his detection is out. He's gonna have torps in the water.
Get no smokes! Get no smokes!
So now, the winnings, the earnings are mine for the taking. Whatever. This is game, and hopefully this gives you an idea of how the Khabarovsk works. Khabarovsk. And if you come up against one, then your best chance is frankly to pray and run. But if you do have a heavy-duty cruiser that can handle brawling at a distance and not getting in too close for those torpedoes, then that will be your best bet for handling a Khabarovsk. I hope this gives you a good idea of the ship and why I enjoy it and kind of the strategy of how it works at this higher tier. Thanks for watching another episode of Chrischievious, and I will hopefully see you on the next episode for Warships Wednesdays. No.
Hey, 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 hey!